All right. So in this video here, we're going to start working on our artist form. So in the previous video, we built out a home.ejs and we built out an air.ejs. So those two things are working. And now what we're going to do is we're going to work on our artist form. Okay. So where I want to start with that is inside of home.ejs. So I'm here inside of home.ejs and I'm add a link here uh, underneath my H2 in home.ejs. And I'll just add a p tag and I'll give it a class. I'll say, oh no, I don't want that in my home.ejs. I'll take that back. I'm gonna put that in my header.ejs. Yeah, that's where I want it. So inside my header.ejs, underneath the H1, just gonna make an anchor tag here, and I'll just give so I'll make a p dot header dash text, and I'll say add an artist, and then after that I'm going to make an anchor tag. So a href equals, and right now I'll just put a hashtag right there. We're going to complete that later, and just say here, like so. So it should look like this: add an artist, and then anchor tag. You can see right there here. I put a little period afterwards. Okay. I just want a link. This is not, styling or anything to make it look all beautiful or whatever. Just want something there that when I click on it, it will take me to that place. So they're at an artist here. And for some reason, oh, that's right. I want to fix that. So here inside my header, you can see where my text is going all the way to the edge of the window. I want to fix that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a div that I name container. And I'm going to take this text, this H1 of this P tag, and move it up inside the container. So you should have something like this right here. Okay. And now when I refresh, bam, there it is. Pause the video if you need to. And get this. I know how it is. I do not apologizing for the speed in which I type. Um, because I worked hard to do that, and I don't need to apologize for anything that I worked for. That I actually did work for, not that was given to me. Message. But no, I'm not gonna apologize that. But I know that I can tend to type fast, but that's what I'm saying. Hey, pause the video if you need to, so that you can get what you need. All right. So I got the link there, so that's set up. I'll come back there later. I'll revisit that. Now I'm going to come over here to my artist form.ejs, and we're going to build out this form. So let's include the header and the footer. Okay, so there's my header and my footer. They've been included in this. I'm going to do a main element with the class main, an ID of main. You see, I do this every single time. I like it for it to be formatted the same way. Consistency is like really key. You format it the same way, then you'll understand like how to fix things and how to format things. A lot of stuff will be structured the same way. So if you run into any kind of errors, you'll know how to handle that. Okay. So there it is. I got my main inside of there. I'm gonna put a container. And then inside of this container, I'm going to add my form. This form again will it will take in the inputs for an artist. Uh, it will allow us data, and then we'll see if we can post it. Okay, so start off with an H2 inside this container, and I'll give it a class text dash center, and we'll just say add, and I'm text dash capitalize on my H2. I mentioned before, like when it comes to using Bootstrap, it is very handy. Um, it is an excellent framework. It does a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Excuse me. But it is very important that you do not allow Bootstrap to think for you, particularly when it comes to the accessibility or the lack of accessibility for some of Bootstrap's features. Um, so you want to use your head, okay, and think about things and think about, how accessible or inaccessible, whichever one it is, that your content is as you're working on this with using Bootstrap. Okay. So here we go. With that being said, that's my speech for the day. One of my speeches for the day. Let's build out this form. So I'm going to use a form. I'm going to give it a class form, give it an ID of artist form, like so. And so you see here we have this action, okay? And this action attribute, which is attached to the form, what goes in here is a URL, okay? So with the form, the way that it's built, there's this action element that says, hey, when you hit submit or what have you, I'm going to um, send this information to this particular URL. Now, if you want me to post it or patch something up or what have you, any of that, that's to be determined. Okay. What we're doing is we're saying, hey, this is where this information is going. Okay. So what we're going to use here is the actual URL that we created to create the data. Okay. And we created that URL inside of our artist routes. So if we look here in artist routes, we just said /create. So http://localhost 3000/API/artist/create. This is the URL that we're going to use here in our artist form for our action. So here in action, I'm going to say http://localhost:3000/API/artist/create. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on different lines. Anytime when I'm writing HTML and my attributes start to get a little long like this, I like to put them in separate lines. I'm going to add one more attribute here, and it's going to be method equals post. Okay, because by default the method is get, And so we need to specify and say specifically, no, that we're going to post right here. Okay. So I got my form. I'm going to, let's see, I think this is good right here. Yeah, this is good enough. And so now let's build out this form. Okay. So I'm going to make, for this artist, we only need to get the first name and the last name. So we only got two pieces of information that we need to get. So let's, we already have a container. Let's make a row. So I'm going to say dot row. Okay. And inside of this row, let's also add a class MB-3. So I got that on the row. All right. And now let's do this. We are going to create a column. And inside this first column, I'm going to put a label element. So I'm going to say label. And going to give it a class form dash label. All right. And it's going to ask for a for attribute. The for attribute, I'm going to call that F name because this one is going to be used to get the first name of our artist that we're adding. And so inside of label, we're just going to put first name like so. Once you have all this, okay, checking, but this whole column, so everything, column, all that, I'm going to copy that, go below the column and paste and change this to L name. And this would be, oh, I forgot something, but that's all right. We'll get it there. Last name. All right. One thing I forgot that's so important. How did I forget it? I don't know. But we need to add our input element. So underneath this label, I'm going to add an input element. The type is going to be text. I'm going to put this on different lines because it get kind of long. The input type is going to be text. The ID has to match what we have for the label. That's going to be F name. All right. The name is going to be F name. I'm going to leave all that the same. In the class, I'm going to say form dash control. And so now that I have this here for my input, I'm going to copy that and paste that below this label and check and make sure that for this one you're using last name instead of first name. Okay. And then once we got that, those are the only two inputs that we're taking in. So what I'm going to do after that is inside here underneath the row, I'm going to make another row. And I'm going to, how do I want to do this? Do I want to do it? No, I won't need a row. I don't think I'll need a row. I'm gonna add a button. So I'm gonna add a button element. I'm gonna give it a class btn dot btn dash, I'll say primary. I'm gonna add a couple other stuff in here. So let me come right here. I'm gonna say the type of, and the role is also going to be button. And then I need to add some text right here. And I'll just say add artist. And once you get all that, again, pause the video if you need to. Make sure you get all this information. Once you have all that, let's come back over here and refresh. And oh, let's see. Oh, yeah, we got to set up our routes. With that part we didn't do. So, because if I click this, it's not going to do anything. See, a hashtag comes up. All right, so now we got that though. Now we need to set up our route for it. Okay, so let's go to router.js and set up our route. I'm going to put that above our root route here. This will be for the artist form. So I'll create my endpoint, my URL for it. I'll say http:// localhost 3000 / I can just name this artist form. I think I'll do that. Yeah, artist dash form. I think that should work. Okay. So now we'll say router.get / we say artist dash form. Take a request and response. And what are we going to do? We're going to response.render pages / artist form. And the title will be, we just say artist form. The name, I'll just make that artist form as well. So now we've built a route for it. And we can test it out after we built it. Come back over here to the browser, localhost 3000 / artist dash form. And there goes our form. Now we have to check and make sure that it works, which I think it should. I hope it does. We're gonna make sure. Okay, so let's see what happens. So I want to try to add an artist. Say first name. Let's see. I'm gonna add. I'll add Kendrick Lamar. Why not? Kendrick Lamar. And I click add artist. And what do you know? Look at that. Last ID 12. Cool. If I come over here to API / artist, down there at the very bottom is Kendrick Lamar. Just like that. So the form already wrote the methods and everything for it to behave in the way that we wanted it to. So we knew that worked. How do we know that worked? Well, we tested out we tested out in Postman that URL, right? We tested that information out, okay? And so what happens is, let's see if we come back. I don't have it here. But when we typed in the information inside the input field, okay, this is when we use the ID property in our form. So if I come over here to artist form and name this name property, that is used as the property, and the value is whatever it is that we type into the field. So if whatever it is we type in the field, that gets processed as the value. So we had our key and our value already set up by the form. And so that becomes our request.body, and we already told Express or our application what we want to do with this information once it's been collected. So now, we have a great data entry form right here. I can type in this information and send it to the URL that http:// 3000 with :3000 /API/artist/create, and it handles the rest. Now, you will want to check and make sure that um, do some form validation rather. Uh, Maybe we want to see, hey, let's test to see if this artist is already inside of our database, and if so, then don't add it. But if it's not in there, then add this information. Other stuff like that we could check, and also we could do some form validation where, in our database everything is lowercase, so we could take in the data and take that string, make it lowercase before we send it off to be put inside of the database. Like all this different stuff that we could do to normalize the data and run tests and everything. And that is something that you will want to do. But if you got this far, again, kudos to you for getting this far. So now if you have a form that actually works for the artist, so you can type in uh artists such this way and not have to do it, either in Postman or like, create some kind of SQL data file and do it that way. So cool. Wow, we got that done. Um so yeah, now you can add this same thing, the same concept to your uh label as well as band. Okay, the same thing. And yeah, move on from there. So if you like these videos, you like these all that other stuff, anything else, if you see me out in public and you're like, oh, that's the guy that coding on YouTube. I want to give him a hug. If your hands are clean, it's all right. I might be okay with that. Perhaps say who you are first. Don't just come and hug me like that. Whatever. Anyways, I'll see you on the other side of this video.